Honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion, hosted on the Paladino Live Network. And now, your host, Paladino Joey. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Timberwolves Explosion is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps, and I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today. The sun is shining. It's a Friday. Happy Friday if you get to celebrate it. I do believe I do this week, which is great. I hope you do as well. It's a shorter week, which is nice, at least in the United States with the Memorial Day. I hope you had a nice Memorial Day weekend. It's crazy to think another weekend's upon us, at least soon, anyway. Well, we have one team in the NBA Finals as they continue to sweep through the Eastern Conference. That would be the New York Knicks with Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, guys like that. Yeah, Bridges, you can go on and on. We'll talk about the Knicks a bit. We'll try to keep this a two-segment show, I think. Yeah, because there's no ads or anything. So a two-segment show, if possible, like just kind of general Wolves, NBA, Wolves and NBA. And then, because there's not many teams left. There's only 3 teams left, and we're down to the final game with the Western Conference final. And, yes, you kind of like trade conversation and such. We're going to pull up the NBA trade machine. We're going to have the Timberwolves salaries, all kinds of good fun when you get into off-season conversation. Pulling up that Sport Track site and the ESPN trade machine. Apparently Sport Track has has a similar machine as well, which is pretty cool. Ugh, I haven't even had a drop of coffee yet. What's wrong with me? Yeah, we gotta get rolling here with that. Time is of the essence, right? And yes, time is of the essence when it comes to the Timberwolves and their future and such. There's kind of like you could call it a rumor, an idea, so to speak, with the Timberwolves possibly trading with the Memphis Grizzlies for Ja Morant. So that's out there. He's making almost $40 million a year, by the way. When you consider how disappointing Ja Morant's been, I'm not all that excited about the prospects of bringing in Ja Morant. Obviously, his field goal percentage has been pretty lousy. He shot 23% from downtown last year. That'd be 3-point range, if you're wondering. I know you probably have an idea what that is. One other major number and category, like what's the best ability if you're a star player or even a player at all? Availability, right? Like, what good is somebody like, oh, they're so good, they're just, the talent is just oozing, oh my god, like people at work, right? People think this person is so good, yeah, but they're like off all the time. So bleep that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to join you in your little I'm not going to join in the little praise parade. It ain't happening. Like, yeah, they're fine. Like, you're going to see a kind of like a blank look on my face, and somebody's like, "Oh, aren't they great?" Like, sure. It's like put 2 and 2 together, folks. Ja Morant played 20 games last year. Ja Morant played 75 games in 3 seasons. A lot of people play more than 75 games in one season. He played 75 games total in 3 years. 75. All right, sounds good. He's also kind of a jackass, which you haven't noticed, right? When they beat us in the postseason years ago, because the Wolves basically collapsed. I don't think it was Memphis being so spectacular. And Ja Morant kept talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. He's another one of those guys, you come into the series, you kind of like him. Like, man, I kind of like this guy. He's good, and man, he's fun to watch, and doesn't seem like a total, he doesn't seem like obnoxious or anything. And like, oh, he's obnoxious, all right. He's the biggest jackass, he's one of the biggest jackasses ever, right? Kind of like what happened to Stephen Castle playing the Spurs this past series. I love Stephen Castle. Now I don't like him very much. God bless him, but I don't like him very much. Sorry. Now, not that it's about me and my opinions of certain players, but just kind of, I'm sure I'm not alone when you talk about this conversation where you came in liking Ja Morant those years ago and came out like, man, I want to kick his ass. He was a jackass the whole series. And he was a jackass every time we played them the next year, constantly taunting and talking. I mean, you even heard a pretty mild-mannered guy, passionate but mild-mannered, in Jim Peterson, saying, Ja Morant's been talking smack the whole game. Like, you could hear he was getting, like, enough. Like, shut the hell up, Ja Morant. Even Jim Peterson had just had enough. You could tell. He's like, shut up, you little punk. So I don't know if I want him. Bottom line. Is he talented? Yes. Can you count on him? Not really. And he's a 23% three-point shooter this past year. His career is like slightly over 30. 3 points aren't the end-all in the league, but I mean, you expect a little bit better than that. General stats, 19.5 points, 8 assists. I mean, I'll take that. Sure, I'll take that, generally speaking. But the career numbers don't really do it for you, and he's making about $40 million a year. Okay, it's not 60, but 60. Are you kidding me? Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. I don't think anybody should be making 60. I don't care who they are, except maybe Michael Jordan. Ja Morant's best years, 27 points, 26 points, kind of Iverson-ish. That was the comparison, kind of a very skinny, wiry guy, like a taller Iverson. Got his 8 assists. Plays kind of a shooting guardish game, but also can play make and everything. Averaging about 7.5 assists in 327 games, which probably should have been closer to 600, but you'll digress on that one. His career high in games played was his rookie year of 67. I will remind you, kind of, like that snooty manager at work, or, in the past or current, I will remind you there are 82 games in the regular season. Yes, there are. The second year he had 63 games, so the second best year, and that was the second year in the league. The next year, 57. The next year, 61. The next year, 9. Yep. And that 67 year was the COVID year, so obviously things were, cut down a bit, and he had to kind of start over in the summer. So that was the COVID year, where you saw, NBA playoffs and stuff in the summer, July to August and stuff, which was pretty weird. Like you saw, there was a Minnesota Wild game on my birthday of July 29th. Like I never thought in my lifetime I would see that, one way or another, like starting early or playing late. July 29th, hockey, July 29th. So it's kind of similar. The NBA was restarting around that same time. I got a kick out of it. I'm like, that's weird. 61 years, his fourth year in the league, 61 games. Did I say 61 years? He's not that old. 61 games in his fourth year, 9 games in his fifth, 50 in his sixth, and 20 last year. So again, 75 games in 3 years. 79 games. That's not 75. I heard 75, and then you look at it. No, that's 79 games. Maybe that was what I was hearing. Still, less than a full season in 3 years played. Less than a full season's worth of games. Close to a career low in points, believe it or not. He has been quite a scorer, him being a Ja Morant. But, I don't know. It's like, with a player like this, the attitude and such, and I know a lot of people on certain sides of the aisle are going to defend him because he's, with the whole gun pictures and such. And I don't mean the NRA crowd. I mean the other side. The other side, like, oh, you're calling him a punk? Well, look at your side, holding, wearing military garb and pointing a gun away from the camera versus towards it. That's another thing I'll add to that argument, going back the other way. But it's not necessarily about, Ja Morant's such a punk, necessarily because of the gun. It's just she's a punk in general. It doesn't matter if it's a gun or not. It's the attitude. It's the behavior. It's not what somebody looks like or what they do in their pictures, necessarily. It can be the pictures sometimes. If you're flipping off the camera, you're a punk. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are or what you look like. You're a punk. The attitude... It's the attitude. That's all it is at the end of the day. I don't like the attitude. The player, there's talent, yes. Don't hate the player, hate the attitude, put it that way. And if his game isn't going to add up for our future, then so be it. But would it be intriguing? Yes. Now the cost, there's always a cost, right? If you're making a trade. At least the conversation and the rumor that was brought up on Flagrant Howls, they don't need my help, but I could use theirs. You know what I mean? I humbly ask for your help, please. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it ain't going to happen. I'm lucky anybody shares the show, and I thank you, those of you that do. God bless you forever. The proposed conversation out there, I don't know if it's it was a real trade proposal from the Memphis Grizzlies, would have been Ja Morant coming to the Wolves. Imagine that. Maybe another player. But the Wolves would have to give up, let's see, Julius Randle. Okay, fine. Terrence Shannon Jr. Bummer, but he's you're seeing signs, and Johan Berenger.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no, that's where you hang up the phone and the conversation's over. Like, adios, amigo. You might want to, that Johan Berenger thing. Yeah, no, are you serious? Like, this isn't Magic Johnson we're getting back here. Even if his career was shortened by, where, yeah, he didn't, he ended up retiring at 32 because of a certain thing was contracted to him, but of course it never activated. Praise the Lord for that. He's still very much alive today. God bless Magic Johnson. But no, you're not getting Magic Johnson here. You're getting John Morant. You're not getting Allen Iverson either. I wasn't a big fan of Allen Iverson. Kind of similar. Selfish. Selfish. Allen Iverson was selfish. Disagree with me until the cows come home. Selfish players ain't going to win nothing, in my humble opinion. They don't win nothing. That's why Iverson had no ring. Point made, whether you like it or not. Joe and Berenger, though, come on, man. Seriously? Would the salaries even add up? I think there'd have to be some other pieces. Let's try it. Here's the trade machine. Where are you? Yeah, Terrence Shannon ain't making a whole lot. I think it would happen. I think the Wolves would do. I think, let's push the button, try this trade. Trade successful. Yep, so yes, it would mathematically add up. How about a couple of draft picks coming our way too, Memphis, please? At least one first-round pick. One. Can you give us one? Without that would be my trade proposal. Julius Randle, Terrence Shannon Jr., and a first-round pick. Joan Berenger, no Berenger, and you're going to give us a first-round pick. Okay, fine. First-round pick. I was going to say second. No, first-round pick. I'm sorry, but that's how I look at it. Yeah, I mean, what a bunch of hooey, as you might say in the old days in the South or something. Yeah, it's a bunch of hooey, all right. I wouldn't do that one. It's too much. Giving up too much. Intriguing, sure, but I don't know. I just don't know. The other one is Kyrie Irving. That's been floating around for a while. We talked about that extensively on the last show. He's linked with the silver arrow against Gannon. That's what he is. He's got that silver arrow. He's clutch. He's a killer. I love Kyrie Irving. I love this. I hate the injuries. I feel bad about it. Go ahead and make fun of the flat Earth thing. Yes, I disagree with him on the flat Earth. Yes, I do. I agree with some things, and I am kind of in that cryptoid stuff a little bit. Not as much in the Bigfoot area, but more like biblical stuff, like giants of Genesis 6. Yes, if you're interested in that conversation, Mysterious Adventures. So Kyrie Irving might actually like that podcast, Mysterious Adventures. So we probably agree on some things when it comes to that, but the flat Earth conversation, I don't go there. Go ahead and make, some people are like, there are other people out there that would make fun of that, like, yeah, you're weak if you don't want to go there. No, I don't. I don't want to go there. Sorry. So otherwise, outside of the flat Earth thing, Kyrie Irving coming to the Timberwolves, and I just clicked on his profile accidentally. Yes, the injury history stinks. I'll take goofy flat Earth conversation any day over John Morant's attitude and extreme injury issues and other personal problems, probably not getting along with people behind the scenes. The 36.5, basically, approximately, and his current salary if we're going forward into 26-27. Julius Randle, yes, Julius Randle is going to be included in any probable trade going either way. You got $6 million extra coming back this way, so you're probably going to have to say goodbye to another player. John Barron, no, please, does it have to be him? It's probably going to be, yeah, you have to throw in probably Shannon again, which kind of stinks, and maybe Clark. That should do it. And if we could get like a cheap player back, I don't know. Give us Lively. Only $5 million. He's a nice player. I like PJ Washington too. I'm actually a fan. About $14 million. So I mean, I don't know. You'd have to make a completely different trade there if you wanted to make that move. But Kyrie Irving for Randall, Shannon Jr. and Clark. That might be too much. Let's see if I can X out Shannon. And if we can somehow pull off Julius Randle and Clark, it may or may not work. Trade successful. So it does match the current rules and such. So we could do that. Randle and Clark. I would make that move, yes. I like Clark a lot. I like his defensiveness, his defensive ability, his aggressiveness and such. Julius Randle would be going home to Dallas, Texas. It's where he's from. And I got a feeling that'd be a nice match. And who knows? They might... they might improve in the next year or so. The Wolves would get a clutch, silver arrow killer in Kyrie Irving. I would love to have him on Minnesota. And you got to give up something to get something, that type of deal when it comes to Jalen Clark. Not a star player. Can't score for his life, unfortunately. He really can't. Okay, sometimes, but generally speaking, he kind of stinks at offense. Defensively, he can be pretty awesome. But seems to he falls out of the rotation very often, which is frustrating as well. I think I'd rather keep Shannon. If it's between the two, I'd rather keep Terrence Shannon Jr. But you can make a choice if you're the organization or it's just your personal preference, and the trade would work either way. And then it depends on what Dallas would want. Do they want Terrence Shannon Jr. instead of Clark? I'd be willing to do it, but I would probably offer Clark at the beginning, in my point of view. That's just how I look at it. Because, yes, the trade would be successful because their salaries are almost the same. Terrence Shannon's making slightly more. The bad news is the Wolves would absorb an extra $4 million, so that actually kind of hurts our cap situation. We would be over $39 million over the cap, so that kind of sucks. That's the bad part, but we'd still be able to make the move, I guess, despite that. The Mavericks would actually be $28 million over the cap still, which is pretty wild. So they'd get a teeny bit of cap space in the process. Let me look at this a little closer. Yeah, $3.5 million up. The Wolves would have to. Yeah, Wolves would be absorbing an extra $3.5 million. So there is that conversation. At the end of the day, wish we could trade Rudy Gobert as well. But yes, Julius Randle, I think, has played his last game with the Wolves. I just don't want to hear any Joan Berenger conversation unless it's for a bona fide superstar who is not 35 bleeping years old. That's what I'm saying. You know, when you talk about that conversation. Okay, I already did the trade, so let's start over. There was one other one out there, conversation about Kawhi Leonard. Isn't he 35 now? Yeah, I was surprised to hear he's 35, but I guess he is. He's on the Clippers now, right? I mean, he's been around a bit. Where are the Clippers? They're not in San Diego, are they? Okay, it's just called L.A. What the heck? $50 million? Oh my God. Okay, forget about that. $50 million? So Darius is like $3 million more. That'd be Darius Garland. He's almost making 40. Kyrie's actually fairly inexpensive considering what he is. It's just he's older, so it doesn't bother me. Yeah. Darius Garland's making just under 40. Kawhi's making a cool $50 million bleeping dollars. Anthony Edwards right now is at 45, but that's going to keep going up. Rudy Gobert, that is, at 35. Come on, Rudy. You want man, when they're talking about throwing in Brook Lopez in the trade, that's almost $60 million coming back to the Wolves. I mean, what are you going to give up? The whole damn team? Jeez. That's too much. I don't think I'd do it. I'll put it up there just for fun. Julius Randle. Can you take Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert for Kawhi Leonard? What do you think? And then give us Brook Lopez. Yeah, you don't get Naz Reid. No, you're getting Rudy because he's old. You're getting two old guys for an old guy, and then we'll get a super old guy in a Brook Lopez. Try the trade. Successful. And the Clippers actually absorb more cap than we do. That'd be nice. So they bring our... Yeah, we absorb 58.7. They absorb 65.8. I don't know if they would do that, but maybe they have slightly more cap room than the Wolves do. We're both over the cap, but just saying. When you get into that minus range stuff. Free throw merchants talking on the mic right now. It's a replay because it's the next morning after they got their butts handed to them by the almost equally hated San Antonio Spurs. I don't like them either. Sorry. So there was conversations about Rudy Gobert going to Charlotte. That was the other one out there. So here's the Charlotte Hornets. This is the wrong team. Pulled up the Wolves, I thought. Come on, get out of here. Wrong team, you idiots. Stupid. Why are the Charlotte Hornets like orange? They're not the Bobcats anymore. You know that, right? Come on, that's kind of weird. So Rudy Gobert's $35 million going to the Hornets because that's been out there. I don't know who they're exactly talking about. Do we get Bridges back? Surely we would, or maybe like a Kobe White. I know that's kind of one of the players we've been interested in, supposedly. I doubt they would do this. Bridges and White, I doubt it. They probably have to throw in like somebody. In fact, I guarantee we would. Like, let's say Shannon. Like Charlotte, come on, give us Shannon, give us something. And then the caps are almost like it's less than it's like $200,000 difference. It's incredibly close. So you just push the button, you know it's going to be successful. So Gobert and Shannon heading to the Hornets. Mikal Bridges and Kobe White coming to Minnesota. I think that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Couple of scores. Kobe's on an expiring contract of about $13 million. Bridges 2 years remaining, $25 million even. Coming our direction. Au revoir, Rudy. Au revoir, Rudy. God bless. No, sorry. Tres bien, Rudy. Tres bien. No, sorry. we would wish him the best, I'm sure. But he had some great moments this year. But then it's like, then there's like the San Antonio series. Yeah, that. That. That's the part we can't really forget. There was another rumor about Julius possibly, or just he would be a good fit for the Suns. That was the final conversation here, so I don't babble forever. Julius Randle to the Suns for Devin Booker. Yes, thank you. No, I don't think so. Brooks would be possibly Brooks 22 million because Julius is making just under 31. Yep, and they're saying maybe a third team would have to be involved. I'm thinking too, yeah, because Devin Booker's 53 and they're not trading him. Jalen Green would be close. I don't know if we want Jalen Green at about 33 and a half. Not sure who the third team would be. It's like you just want to analyze the situation. Amir Coffey, he's already, a free agent, just like a guy by the name of Ayo Dawson, Bones Island, and Joe Ingles, who's returning to OC, mate. So God bless Joe. God bless Joe Ingles. Going back to OC to get some playing time because he'd like to play. Kind of tired of sitting there watching. It's kind of boring, So got sick of that, mate. You got sick of it? Bloody sick of it, mate. Just sitting there watching. It's boring, mate. So all I'm going to do is inbounds. Right, mate. No problem. But then by the end of the year, it's like, I'm going back to Aussie, mate. Let's go get some playing time. Shoot some shots, set some guys up, and yeah, it'll be awesome. I hope my Aussie accent isn't too obnoxious. I'm trying not to overdo it, because people overdo things, and it's dumb. And anything about shrimp on the Barbie, that is not allowed. And I'm not kidding, it's not. It's annoying. They're like, really? Really? What are we watching? The Rescuers Down Under or something? That silly seagull or whatever he was? Or not seagull, he was like a bigger bird. I forgot what he was. A pelican or something? Shrimp on the Barbie. Let's stay off of that, right? No, they do not. They do not like that. Right, Vince? They do not. It's yeah. And Foster's, they don't like it either. No. We just use it as like, yeah, man. Though I always joke about how when you see something absolutely huge, like there's Sharpies. Like I'm holding a Sharpie right now, regular size Sharpie. You can envision it in your head, right? Since this isn't video, regular size Sharpie. It's like a centimeter wide. I don't know what the heck. And then there's something like massive, like an inch thick looking Sharpie out there. And I'm like, now that's a marker, mate. That's an Australian marker. That's why I always joke about how everything's bigger. So I always have fun with stuff like that. Like that's a knife, like some little, some sharp knife, like a pocket knife, and then you get that big giant bear killer thing. Now that's a knife, I have fun with that. Like that's a marker. Love it. All right. So I've BS'd enough. I apologize. And God bless, God bless and Godspeed to Joe Ingles. You're going to miss him. But totally get it. Totally get it. Obviously it must be fun going back there. And, if I was somebody who was talented enough to play professional basketball one way or another, either sit on the bench in the United States or go play in Australia, and unless the money was insanely good here, I would strongly consider playing in Australia. I mean, at least you get to play, and you never know, maybe you'll get noticed. But also, if you're older and you just want to play again for like another year or two, I would be in Australia soon, very quickly, and I wish I could. I wish I had options like that. It sure the heck would beat what I'm doing now, let me tell you. I mean, you go to Australia, dealing with people smiling at you, asking for your autograph versus, Joey, I'm going to complain about this. Joey, I'm going to complain about that. Yeah, you can't compare that ever. Even though players probably get tired of the autograph stuff, but yeah, go work in a regular job and put up with annoying people all day. And you'll love people asking for autographs after that, believe me. Anyhow, enough of my personal life. Where am I? We're gonna wrap up with the trade machine now. We're gonna get stuck straight into the postseason, mate. Should I look at the mock drafts too? I don't know. Maybe I can dig into that super quick, and then we'll look at the postseason. There's been obviously there's going to be a million mock drafts out there. What you call it is already done, the lottery. We know who's getting that. I think we're all too excited about that. Oh, let's go to the Tankathon one anyway, because you still get the same order and everything. AJ DeBunsa would be heading to the Washington Wizards #1. Daryl Peterson, Darren, spelled differently to the Jazz. Peterson. Cameron Boozer, I do believe he is related to Carlos. Just about to turn 19. Congratulations there. He'll also be picking 9th this year instead of #1. I don't think this shows. Oh, it does go into the second round. Where do we pick? Don't we have a second round pick somewhere? Oh, Lord. 59th. Yay. We picked 59th in the draft. Second last pick in the draft. Kylan Buswell, point guard. Well, there you go. He's a point guard. He was a senior. He only averaged 3.6 assists, and he's a senior. He's a point guard? Come on. Almost 6'3", 225. Bulky guy. I'm guessing he's a good defender. But 59th pick in the draft. Now, we've seen guys go 50th or whatever, like Ginobili, and ended up becoming stars. This guy would be coming out of Illinois. Yes, Illinois. Yes, Illinois. Yeah, very good team, actually. And we'll see what happens. His max vertical is 38 inches. Good for him. Hand length is 8 inches. Hand width is 8.5. I know. Standing reach, 7'11". Nice. Wingspan of 6'7". Huh. Yeah, he's kind of, his arms are kind of on the shorter side, at least when you look at that. You think 7'11", but no, that ain't that much. That's why it's red. So, who knows? It's just throwing a dart at the wall at this point. He's from Champaign, Illinois, which is basically where the Illini play, aren't they? So, I mean, he's literally a natural Illini. So, Kylan Boswell, we'll see if you suit up for the Timberwolves next year or ever. Well, yeah, who knows? Well, he'd be old enough to suit up. He'd be turning 22 during the season at some point, like by the end of the year. He's actually relatively young for a senior, so at least you got that coming for you. He's not the oldest player in the draft. You got guys over 23, which is up there, I think. NBA draft, 23 years old. Those are the ones that do tend to slip into the second round. Yes, no, the Wolves do not have a first-round pick right now. Things can change at any point. We all know that with the trades and such. So that's enough for the draft for now. That won't be a huge conversation unless there's a trade, but it'll be out there. Like, we'll talk about it a tiny bit. The postseason. Well, the Knicks swept the Cavaliers. I don't think that had happened yet. My apologies. I can't believe I left that on. That's dumb. Of course, you get annoying people upstairs again. Imagine that. There I go, babbling and whining again. So, yes, the New York Knicks swept the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're on a historic run. They're blowing everybody out. They've won 11 in a row. And the constant comeback is they're in the Eastern Conference, which there's not a whole lot to really brag about there. Detroit couldn't even get out of the second round. Cleveland played very well versus Toronto and Detroit, but they had to go to 7 games in both cases and just ran out of gas and got completely shellacked by the New York Knicks. The Knicks never had to face a pretty good Boston Celtics team where they would have had to play on the road. Philadelphia kind of lucked it out, had a great Game 7. Boston was shorthanded because Tatum went back out again, basically. It just wasn't healthy enough. Jaylen Brown wasn't enough, and the Celtics just couldn't finish on their shots. Philadelphia advanced and all that good stuff. And the Knicks just said, oh, hi, you work your ass off beating those Celtics. This is just turning into a nightmare here. New York Knicks turned into I didn't turn the sound off on anything. I'm sorry. The New York Knicks just, the Philadelphia 76ers just came off, beating the Celtics, by having to work their ass off. And it was like, oh, yeah, you play tomorrow, like in 2 days. Like, it was almost like right away. And then the Knicks just buried them. It was ugly. The Hawks actually won Game 1, didn't they, versus the Knicks, which is weird to imagine when you consider what kind of run it's been since then. The Hawks kind of hung on at one point, and then the Knicks took them to lunch and never lost since that day, since Game 6. It's just been ridiculous. They've been blowing everybody out, blowing the Cavs out in the sixth and the conference final. New York Knicks are in the NBA Finals. Karl Anthony Towns has officially gotten further in the postseason than Anthony Edwards or any of the Timberwolves at the moment. So that's kind of a bummer for us, no doubt about it. I don't think any current player has been in the NBA Finals on the Wolves, have they? Don't think Julius Randle's been there. And others as well. Donnie DiVincenzo's won a national. Oh, I'm trying to remember. He did play for the Warriors, but it was during one of the years they didn't win, if I remember correctly. Oh, DiVincenzo won it with the Bucks. So, yep, that's what it was. So DiVincenzo has been there, but funny, he's out with an Achilles tear. He did win a title with the Bucks, and yes, the national championship with the Villanova Wildcats, which I really enjoyed. I mean, I love Villanova, one of my favorite college teams. So the Knicks are just kind of simply waiting, and the Spurs and Oklahoma City are doing what a lot of us thought might happen: 7 games. Despite a lot of the games have been lopsided one way or another. Like this team beat the crap out of this one, and then that one. What is he doing? Running? What's wrong with these people? It's an apartment. There's no reason to run in a little unit. Mental, man. Mental. Unless you got like something burning at the stove or something, but I don't think that's what's happening. Some people are just weird. Some people are just weird. Don't understand it. But anyhow, the New York Knicks dominating the Eastern Conference. The Spurs and Thunder going to Game 7 in the West. So yes, what's going to happen now? I don't know. Game 7 will be in Oklahoma City, and yes, it was a very lopsided loss for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs got beat up pretty bad a couple of times in this series as well. It's kind of been back and forth in this series. I'm getting just nothing but pop-ups here, and I can't even look at anything, which is annoying. So my apologies there. Oklahoma City Thunder is still the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, of course, and the number 1 seed in the whole NBA. If I could pull up things to actually see how this series has gone. Yes, I mean, Game 1 went to the... Game 1... What am I looking at? Okay, I'm looking backwards. Yeah, I thought the Spurs won Game 1. Yes, that was probably the closest game of the series. The first couple games were relatively close, in which they split there over there in OKC. The Spurs won the first game, and Oklahoma basically returned the favor it was a 7-point win for the Spurs, a 9-point win for the Thunder, and then you get your first kind of semi-blowout in San Antonio, Oklahoma City, winning that one, which people are like, ooh, that was a difference maker. The Spurs said bleep off, basically, and won by 21. And then another, double-digit win by OKC in San Antonio, and a lot of people thinking, okay, they're on their way to the final. And the Spurs said, not so fast. And crushed the Thunder by quite a bit, by about 27. So, yeah, pretty big blowout last night in Game 6. Game 7 is tomorrow, Saturday night on NBC in Oklahoma City. Watch out for F5 tornadoes, EF5 tornadoes, one way or another in Oklahoma. I wouldn't doubt San Antonio's had a tornado or two historically, but Oklahoma is quite a fixture in the tornado alley world. Yes, it is. Largest tornado of all time basically happened in that place back in 2013. Yeah, in that general area. It was Reno, Nevada, but close to OKC. It's incredible the size of that thing. I mean, we're talking almost 3 miles wide. Was it 2.5, I think? And then speeds at the maximum was about 300, which is like world record level. Like, it's 300 miles an hour, man. That's in certain areas. Tornadoes don't just sustain 300 miles an hour. Obviously, the speeds change and such, and there's little certain surges here and there. But one way or another, that's absolutely nuts. Massive tornado. But I don't know why I'm getting into weather stuff. It's just kind of interesting. We'll see. You never know. I'm just imagining, what if an event like that took place around game time? Wouldn't that be nuts? Wouldn't that be nuts? Tornadoes tend to happen around supper time, 5 to 7 o'clock, so you never know. And then you get those real scary nighttime ones where you can't even see them without lightning flashes. Okay, what am I talking about? Yeah, it's because I don't like these teams. I'm sick of the flopping by not John Morant, but I'm sure he does it too. A guy who's flashing on the screen right now. SGA. Sick of the flopping. I show him putting up a jump shot and just intentionally kind of landing on his butt, basically, and getting a foul called. It's ridiculous. The Spurs definitely are floppers as well, and they're obnoxious. But OKC takes it to the next level. For the New York Knicks, lemon and tomato juice to you guys. Please thrash whoever wins the NBA, the Western Conference, and gets to the NBA Finals. Obviously, odds are against the New York Knicks, but this Knicks team is playing way better than the last one that went to the NBA Finals in '99. Way better. That team, was a Cinderella finalist, and they pulled off some incredible upsets, but this one is just thrashing everyone. I know the difficulty of opponents here is not that special, but it was kind of a similar situation. They did beat the number 1 seed, of course, in the Eastern Conference way back in '99 to get there. Of course, you had to do it in the first round to get there. We were an 8th seed, for Pete's sake, but this is a much better Knicks team than that one. And you had Patrick Ewing tear his Achilles right before the finals, wasn't it? or was it Game 1? I can't remember if it was Game 1 of the finals or was like at the end of the Western Conference Finals versus the Pacers. Pretty sure it was the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Final at the time. And so the Knicks didn't even have, Patrick Ewing. They had Chris Dudley. They had an old Chris Dudley who was never that great of a player. Good guy off the court, at least in my opinion. But not, good Christian guy off the court. But on the court, not that good of a player. He was a backup player at best. He was clumsy, kind of lousy, meh. Some people might say he wouldn't even be in the NBA today. Who knows? Maybe he would. He'd at least be on a roster probably. He was a good defender, but not good against Duncan. Not good enough against Duncan and Robinson. He was overwhelmed, and every call was going against him, and it was stupid. So that was an unfortunate situation where maybe you'll get a rematch of the two, but odds would tell us it's probably going to be the Thunder and the Knicks. But hey, road teams win Game 7s. They do. It does happen. Unfortunately, I do think the Thunder close it out, and you get the Thunder and the Knicks. I mean, I've been sticking with the Spurs this whole time, but you know what? Screw it. I am going to stick with what I've been saying. The gut feeling, Spurs and Knicks, rematch of 99, and the New York Knicks will avenge that loss. It'll take a lot to get there. It'll take 7 games, but the New York Knicks will win the NBA championship. I'm going to stick with that prediction. New York Knicks win the NBA Finals in 7 over the San Antonio Spurs or the Thunder. The New York Knicks are going to win the title, even though most people will think it's not going to happen. What happened in 2012? Spurs and Thunder in the conference finals. Everybody on the planet, the winner's going to come out of the West. The winner's going to come out of the West. The winner's going to come out of the West. LeBron, give me a break. He's a joke. Ha ha. The Miami Heat aren't going to do anything. They're just a manufactured team who did just whatever. Yes, the 5, 6, 7 thing was stupid. It was unnecessary. Dude, just stop. Let's win championships. That's all you needed to say. Don't be stupid. Don't say 5, 6, 7. Because that basically put the nail in the coffin right there on the spot when you did that. That was stupid. But they did at least win 2. And guess what? They won that year. When everybody on the planet was on the Thunder, I was on the Thunder's jock and the Spurs jock. Especially the Thunder, though, because the Thunder outlasted the Spurs in that series. After going down 2-0, they destroyed the Spurs, unfortunately, for Tim Duncan and Crow. Obviously, the next 2 years, the Spurs got to the finals and pulled home a title in one of them. Excuse me. So, yes, I think it's going to be a similar situation this year to 2012. Everybody's worshiping the Western Conference, and the Heat won in 5 games. The Thunder won Game 1 by the narrowest margin ever, and some questionable calls against the Heat late in that game. Of course, there were some questionable calls going towards the Heat as well later in that series, but I digress. The Heat won in 5, and they kicked their butoxis late in that series, and it was fun to watch, in my opinion, because I was tired of all the Thunder praise. Didn't like them that much, and I don't like this Thunder team or Spurs team either. And I think it's going to be a similar situation, but it'll take more than 5 games for the Knicks to win, but they will at the end of the day. That's the story from my point of view. With that, we'll take a quick break and see some fan interaction coming up. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, fan interaction segment. I better get to this right away. I'm probably not going to get to everything. Did you ever think I'd ever say that on this show? Ever? Well, maybe. I posted something that went viral. It was just like I can't believe it. So, Timberwolves Explosion at TWolvesEX. I just kind of took an image, that I saw. That's been, the leaked jerseys and everything. Now, there's multiple leaks. I say the dark blue ones are outstanding. This is a rumored leak for the upcoming Wolves uniforms. They look very similar. It's kind of they look very similar to the originals, mixed with the tree era. The Garnett, the trees era, the tree lining, the early Garnett era. Well, the whole Garnett era, with the white, the blue, and the black. So you bring in the black, but it says Wolves like it did back in the day, and looks very similar to the original Wolves. Unfortunately, the logo looks like the same logo with just a different color. I hope the logo is going to change. I don't think it's that great. It's not bad. It looks better with the color change, I suppose, where it looks more like the original wolves versus the current ones. It's pretty good. I think they're pretty good, but I'll take the dark blue ones any day of the week over anything else. They do not look like that goofy-looking sailor look, like the wolves have been going with. Like Marcus made fun of them. The white ones. They said they just look like a goofy-looking sailor suit, like Donald Duck or something. Okay, I finished it. Lemon and the tomato juice, though, to the dark ones. So, it reached. It's not. No, I can't. I'm not seeing this. I didn't even realize that. I thought it said 2,000. No, 200,000 views, almost. I've never seen that. 200,000 views. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I didn't even realize it. It was retweeted, 120 times, liked 2,500, and then 42 responses. See if I can get to a chunk of them, because I think most of them are pretty short. So it's not like, okay, but let's get to the people that are, yep, you got Vince Germano. They look so good, mate. Vince Germano out of Australia. Jason says these are perfect. Joe Nelson says no way they do that same font for the names on the back. Joe Nelson, wow, he's a local name. It's on the KFAN for a while. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. I'm going to follow him back now. I'm going to follow him. I don't think he's following, actually. Jason will follow. So that's why the followers went up a little bit. It only went up like 8 people, but still, I'll take 8 new followers. It might be more, though. Joseph says, love the jerseys. Not 100% on the logo. I agree with that. The wolf looks a little weird. Would rather us go back to the old wolf logo. Like the original, I'm hoping, right? I agree with that. James T says, I prefer the neon green. Something Fish says, it says uniform concept right there, bro, with a... Okay, I hate being called bro. I think it's just, yeah, that's great. And then the face palm. Great, thanks. That's okay, bro. It's just conversation, bro. I don't like bro. I'm not your. It's not that cool. Anyhow, Timmy. Yeah, well, whatever. Timmy Bucket says that looks closer to royal blue than navy. Okay. Yeah. Well, I like royal blue. The People's Champ says the logo itself sucks. Still agreed. There's a lot happening on these. Yep. Too much tree trim, so you don't like them. This is another bowler, looks like. CV6, don't touch that font from the original. Sport Vice says, okay, I see what they did there. Mix of a few eras. I like it. Yeah, me too. Oh, come on. Yep, I like it. Dang it. Pushing all the wrong buttons here. Everything got messed up. Imagine that. God, I hate it. I don't know what it is. Don't call me bro. That pisses me off. It's so, so arrogant. Douchebag. Anyhow, Minna Suffering looks like a Skinner Wolf, and I can't unsee it. Yeah, well, it's the same one. Okay. Where was it? Le Capitan Duc Marit. As a Bucks fan and KG, my favorite athlete growing up, these are tremendous. I agree. The wolf looks high. Yep, I agree with that too. That's Browns Nation. Reed Richard says these are bleeping fire. Likes it a lot. Cool, I agree. Tiger says this is a miss as far as I'm concerned. Not going back to a werewolf logo and wording is an L. All right. Derpy says AI. That's AI. Okay. Jamie Levitt. Well, could be AI. Who knows? Jamie Levitt says about time they replace the ugly uniforms. I agree 1,000% with that. And SX Angel says it's so peak. Likes it. Doug Solem says here's another after Nate I made. Yep, with the Timberwolves logo in the Garnett era and Howling. That's actually really well done. But I like it. That deserves a, yes, it says made with AI, but, well, fine, it's made with AI. But, probably most podcast logos are. Like, at least partially. Here's some good ones. Doug Solom did another one. Nice job. I like it. I'm going to retweet that, too. That deserves a retweet. That looks good. Nice. Okay, Andy Ty says they're fire. Tundra Sportsnet says that's AI, and you can tell by the layout and black background. I understand. I understand. I don't. Huh. Some of these are funny. The original number font for the jerseys were so unique, and I'm going to miss that. But otherwise, these are a huge upgrade. I tend to agree. It's an AI mock-out inspired by a leak. J.E. Jersey says, thoughts on the mock-up I made? Well, that one looks like the Kevin Love era. And then this one, yeah, there's one on the right looks pretty good with Anthony Edwards and Io Dawson. Yep, nice. That's pretty good. Mr. Know-It-All 601 says, the logo is going, yeah, I agree with that. That logo is going away. They're going to the wolf head now. The Lynx are doing the same thing. I like that, too. I like that idea. D'Angelo Gibson says, okay, some of these actually are not being tweeted necessarily to me. Well, they might be, and that's okay. So I better stop. Some of these might be going, yep, terrible logo. I agree with that. Scream Stacks, yep. Yep, Scream Stacks, I agree with that. A lot of people are kind of saying it's AI. Yep, got it. Not a T-Wolves fan, but these are so clean, sign me up. Major Dickies. Twins Rally Squirrel says, excellent. Oh, here's another bro, Don Olden. It's AI, bro. And then does the face palm because I'm just so stupid for you. Thanks, dude. They didn't even put the right season. It's AI, bro. Yeah. Yeah, you can face palm me all you want. I don't give a... I really don't. Figure fill in the blank. Anyhow, that should wrap things up. And God bless everyone for listening. Thank you so much. I do appreciate people that did include it. And don't call me bro. Please, don't call me bro. I don't like it. I don't think a lot of people do because it's rarely meant in a positive way. You're just showing off, and good for you, I guess. Other than that, though, I hope you, regardless, June 7th. June 7th is the day we'll see the real thing. It might not look anything like that rendering, and it might look a little bit like it. We'll find out. Either way, hey, it was conversation. That's the whole point. I'm not trying to be Mr. Smart Guy or Mr. Newsbreaker. But I don't know. I appreciate that people were semi-interested in it, and that was fun. That's pretty cool that actually it kind of helped the Twitter account a little bit. It could use some help, believe me. It's been kind of lonely and stupid for a while. I hope you guys are doing good. Tanae, Benzo in the Bronx. Yep, Tanae, Levi in New Zealand. Vince in Australia, of course. Vince Germano. Hope everything's going great for you guys, and hope to hear from you soon. And let's keep this going, and let's go Knicks.